Election integrity shock. Starting July 1st, will there be a new threat to the integrity of the election process in the open state? Will the newly soon to be issued driver's privilege cards for undocumented immigrants lead to illegal voting? So as we've been discussing for many years on this show, election integrity is of growing importance to many in this state, and as you know, throughout the country, from the president of the United States all the way down to local dog catcher. A few dozen votes can dramatically change the outcome of a local race. A few thousand votes could change statewide or federal races, and there's a and there's a lot of potential areas where we have reason to be distrustful of our election integrity in our state. So joining me now, I want to bring on two members of Rhode Island Fair Elections and Education, and we welcome the founder, Sarah Vieira. Sarah, welcome back to In the Dugout.
Thanks, Mike. This is great.
And we have Megan Brillen. Megan, welcome to In the Dugout.
Hi, thanks for having us today.
Look, they're called technically called driver privilege cards. Some will call them driver's licenses for illegal immigrants and people in this state otherwise unlawfully. Either way, it's happening. These cards are going to be issued on July 1st. Tell us why those concerned with election integrity should be concerned. Sarah.
Okay, so why we're concerned is because the driver privilege cards, as written by law, last year, Representative Craven brought this bill to the House, and under the bill it says driver privilege cards will be issued that look identical to a Rhode Island driver's license card. Representative Morgan brought up the fact that identical means identical, meaning the cards will also have a barcode. Is there any identifier that these people that might be able to vote? And because we know that there's the Motor Voter Act, that when you do any transaction at the DMV, you have to be able to understand to check off the boxes correctly to be able to not vote. So we didn't want, she was concerned about it being identical at that time.
Hey, all right, let's key in on identical, because I could swear that during the debate over driver privilege cards, I guess is the official word, that it was promised that they would be different in some visual way. Megan, am I wrong about that, or was that just some early outdated thinking?
Well, identical means identical, right? So there's a reason for that terminology, and we know what that word means. However, Representative Craven tried to say that there wouldn't be a barcode on the back. If that's the case, then that wouldn't be scanned. However, if these people end up on the voter rolls, that's not going to matter.
We'll get into the voter rolls in a second, but all right. But I just want to stay on identical. Now, we don't have the first thing. We don't have a visual yet of what these new driver's privileges cards are going to actually look like. We don't know that. We haven't seen the proof yet, right?
That is correct. We do have an APRA request out to the DMV for a potential prototype if it exists.
So on the front and on the surface, you're saying these driver privileges cards for undocumented immigrants, those here illegally in the United States and in our state of Rhode Island, on the front, at least, it's going to look, according to the wording of the law, absolutely identical.
According to the wording of the law, yes.
And according to Representative Craven.
That is correct.
Now, the barcode significance, is that, Sarah, is that if there's no barcode on the back, we don't know that there will or won't be, is that barcode presumably something that would be scanned when you go to vote? Is that what they're saying?
That's what we were concerned about, because of that, that's how, when you go in to vote, right? They put your card on the scanner for them to scan the back.
So, and do you know if the barcode on citizens' driver's license, like you, me, and Megan, does that barcode have any other significance other than to be used as a voter ID check?
it is used for a voter ID check. It is connected.
I'm saying, is that the only purpose for the barcode?
Is that the only purpose for the barcode? I'm not sure what the other purposes are through the DMV, but that is how they use it for voting. If they use it for other things, I'm not quite sure.
All right. So first, I think so. Before we get into the voting implications, I think we were first misled, because I am pretty sure I'm correct that we were told that these illegal driver privilege cards would not be identical to driver's license, and they would have some distinguishing feature to them. So I'm, you know, that debate was, I don't know, a year or two ago or whenever, but I'll have to double check on that. All right. Now let's get into voting. So first, let's play devil's advocate on their side. If there is no barcode on the back, if that's the only difference between the two, of course, then it wouldn't be identical. But if that's the only, so we don't know yet if it's going to have a barcode. True, we don't know yet, right?
Correct.
But if it doesn't have that barcode on the back, then in theory, that license shouldn't be able to be used for voter identification. Or do I have something wrong there?
There are many ways to be able to vote. If your ID for whatever reason is old and the barcode is scratched on the back, you can be manually inputted into the computer to be looked at for being if you're on the voter rolls or not. That is not the only way. It is also not the only form of ID that is accepted to be able to vote. So if you use that driver privilege card to do various other things, to get a gym membership or anything like that, you know, you can use a electric bill. If you bring an electric bill with your address and your name, and you have a school ID, you can use that. And if you present those things and we can manually input you and find you on the voter rolls, then you're going to get a ballot to vote.
Like I said, we're going to get to the voter rolls in just a second, but that's a great point. The driver's license is not the only form of ID. Certainly a school, certainly a gym, certainly a library, you know, is not going to go checking the back of your license to see if there's a barcode there or not, and all that to determine that you're going to show them the ID. They're going to look at the front. They're not trained in. They're going to say, yeah, here's your gym card, here's your library card, here's your whatever card, and now voila, an illegal immigrant has something that could be used as valid ID in theory, if they're on the voter rolls. Is that correct?
Yep. That's what we've been worried about. And we did send an APRA request as well, Mike, to the DMV to ask if there were any safeguards in place or any training happening at the DMV to help. You know, this might be a problem, and there were no safeguards in place per the DMV.